Stoned, fried, burned out. These are all words used to describe what it's like to use marijuana. Not too flattering when you think about it.
You can spot a marijuana user by that empty, not in touch with reality stare. A look, by the way, that probably matches what's really going on in their lives.
Marijuana is the third most commonly used drug in the United States, behind alcohol and tobacco. But those two substances are legal for adults to possess. Marijuana is not.
There's some controversy about the status of marijuana in this country, but reasonable people on both sides agree that using marijuana can cause serious health risks, and especially damaging to young people.
Marijuana is made from the dried, shredded leaves of the plant Cannabis sativa. It's green or grayish in color and has a sweet, musty smell.
There are about 400 different chemicals in marijuana. Marijuana's mind-altering effects mainly come from the chemical delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, more commonly known as THC.
Users mix marijuana into foods or tea, but more often it's usually smoked. Users either roll their own cigarettes, called joints, or they add marijuana to a cigar, called a blunt. Small pipes and large water pipes, called bongs, are also used to smoke marijuana.
Effects of marijuana use include feeling relaxed, lightheaded, drowsy, and hungry. How strong these effects are depend on the concentration of the THC in the marijuana.
Another factor is how long a user holds the smoke in their lungs. Marijuana smokers think holding in the smoke longer increases the high. What they don't realize is that they're also increasing the damage to their brain and bodies. Let's see just how that happens.
Just like tobacco, marijuana smoke increases a user's chances for lung infections like bronchitis. Regular users will develop a cough. Their heart rate will race when they're using marijuana. And instead of the relaxed feeling they think they're going to get, users often feel anxious or even afraid that they're in danger.
That's probably how they should feel, since marijuana is illegal and can lead to serious illness. Marijuana users increase their risk for pneumonia, heart attacks, and lung cancer. They reduce their immune system's ability to fight off disease. Infertility is a risk for both males and females. Studies have also suggested that users suffer permanent damage to their memory.
Doctors are still studying the harmful effects of marijuana. There's no telling what else they will discover in the next few years. One thing they know for certain is that it doesn't take a lot of marijuana to start doing damage.
Cancer-causing substances are called carcinogens. Studies have shown that based on equal amounts smoked, marijuana users consume 4 times as much carcinogenic tar as cigarette smokers.
4 times. That means no matter the amount of marijuana used, serious damage is done to the body. What users also don't consider is the serious damage done to their minds.
That's right. Medical studies continue to uncover new findings about marijuana's damaging effects on thinking, learning, memory, and even people's behavior.
Marijuana users have performed worse than non-users in learning and memory tests. Those same tests showed that the longer a person used marijuana, the worse they scored.
Another study used an IQ test to gauge the intelligence of a group of kids aged 9 to 12. They tested the same group of kids when they reached ages 17 to 20 and discovered that the heavy marijuana users lost 4% of their intelligence on average.
They don't call it dope for nothing. Marijuana also changes a person's behavior in a unique way. It's called a motivational syndrome. People who have a motivational syndrome lack interest and enthusiasm for life. They don't set or achieve goals. They can't concentrate and become easily frustrated and give up, leading to poor grades or poor performance in activities or at their job. Other users just isolate themselves from their family and their friends.
Well, I'm never going to use marijuana because I know what I want to do in life. I want to be a psychologist. And I can't do that if I'm on drugs.
Marijuana would affect my goals in life because I know it affects your memory, and to be able to get along with life, you have to be able to remember things.
Marijuana would really stop me from completing what I want, which is basically my main goal to get out of high school and go into college and become a mechanical engineer.
And if I started smoking marijuana, then I would definitely not be able to reach my goals. I would not be able to concentrate in school.
If I got arrested for something like that, I'm sure it'd show up on my criminal record, and that wouldn't look pretty because there's certain goals I have to achieve in life. I plan on going to college.
Using marijuana, I think it just slowed me down. I'm very college bound, and I have a lot of activities at school that I'm involved in, and I think that using it would just be something that I don't need in my life.
Heavy marijuana users build tolerance to the drug. Tolerance means that they'll have to use more and more marijuana to achieve the same effects. A study sponsored by the National Institute on Drug Abuse showed people feel more high the first time they use marijuana than the following times. The same study also found that going without marijuana for a period of time made users anxious and irritable. It also led to stomach pains for many test subjects, all of which are signs of marijuana withdrawal.
Tolerance and withdrawal are two signs of addiction. An addict can't control how much marijuana they smoke at one time. They spend all their time using marijuana or thinking about using marijuana.
Not all scientists agree that marijuana is physically addictive, but all agree that marijuana can be harmful to your health and quality of life.
Experts also agree that the media image of marijuana use makes it seem like it's cool and popular. But the fact is that not everyone is doing it. 4 out of 5 kids between the ages of 12 and 17 said they never tried marijuana. More and more kids are figuring out that marijuana is a bad choice.
There are many ways to avoid using marijuana if it's ever offered to you. Here's how some kids have made the smart choice and avoided marijuana.
I'd be pretty scared because that's a big thing to get involved with.
Just tell them that you don't do marijuana.
I would definitely tell them no.
And so I would say no, that I wouldn't like to do it.
No, thank you. I don't do drugs.
I can get in trouble with smoking a cigarette, but smoking marijuana, I can possibly get arrested.
I don't do marijuana. I don't want any. Would you please leave me alone?
If a group of kids asked me to try marijuana, I would just keep saying no, and if they asked me again, I would say no and just walk away, because they're not going to stop asking you. People are going to pressure you all the time, but you just have to walk away.
If they keep bothering you, you can just get away from the person.
You can just walk away.
And try not to get into a situation with the person again.
You tell them, listen, I don't need to be high on marijuana because I'm high on life. Most people say that's the worst excuse possible, but for some people it is true.
I don't think I need it. I don't need to feel that high or anything.
Either make up an excuse, tell a lie.
I'd just try to keep it simple, like say there's a cop over there, or like I was allergic.
No, I have to go home. I have to be somewhere. I don't have time to do that. Just make up anything.
You can look for like an authority figure, like a parent or a teacher or a policeman, something like that.
If someone keeps pressuring you over and over, then they really aren't your friend.
Anyone who wants you to do the drug with them is just afraid that they'll be alone doing it.
Kids try to get other kids to try things to see if they would do it, and if they think that that other person would do it, then it must not be too bad.
Misery loves company.
If someone tries to pressure you into something, they're not respecting you at all.
It is a lack of respect if they keep pressuring you to do something if you say no.
You can't have your friends, tell you what to do. You have control of what you do and don't do.
If I have to tell them multiple times, listen, no, I don't want to do it. It's just not me. I have a future to look forward to. Then I definitely know they're pressuring me, and I wouldn't like that at all.
Using marijuana is definitely an escape from life or whatever. You should just, if you have a problem, you should face it and try and solve it. You shouldn't use other things to, get away from it, because no matter what, it's going to come back to you, and even worse if you use drugs.
Another thing the media seems to forget is that marijuana is illegal. Different states have different penalties, but getting caught even once can lead to hundreds of dollars in fines and as much as 6 months of jail time.
Getting caught driving under the influence of marijuana is the same as driving under the influence of alcohol. You can have your driver's license suspended or taken away permanently.
Imagine how terrible it would be to just get your driver's license, only to have it taken away because of drug use. Or how much worse you would feel if you injured or killed someone while using marijuana.
80,000 people visit the emergency room because of marijuana use every year. That's a bigger number than heroin users. Marijuana affects your senses, your judgment, your reactions, and your coordination. Using it increases the chances that you'll hurt or possibly kill another person, or even yourself.
A young person's life is supposed to be filled with activity, entertainment, and learning about what the world has to offer.
Using marijuana only narrows the options and opportunities you have. Don't be left with a hollow and empty life. Don't use marijuana.